Hello everybody. Max Verstappen faces two major penalties. After crash, frustration grows during virtual event. Max Verstappen's frustration reached its peak during the virtual 24 Hours of Daytona race, after making several costly mistakes. Representing Team Redline, the reigning F1 world champion was hoping to secure his second victory in the event. However, his chances were dashed after receiving two significant time penalties. The race began at 12:45 p.m. GMT on Saturday, with Verstappen and his teammates Chris Lulham and Diogo Pinto leading the pack with just 6 hours remaining. Unfortunately, in the early hours of Sunday, the 27-year-old made an error in the wet conditions, appearing to aquaplane and colliding with a GTD car, ultimately costing his team the victory. Despite the setback, Verstappen managed to recover after returning to the pits. Although he dropped to fourth place, he continued racing, only to be penalized twice in quick succession. First, the Red Bull driver was given a 40-second time penalty for entering the pit lane in an unsafe manner. Strangely, he repeated the mistake and was hit with another 40-second penalty. This led to visible frustration, with Verstappen shouting and swearing at the screen while sitting in his simulator. The penalties severely impacted his team's chances of victory, as they were unable to make up the lost ground and catch the leaders. Despite the setback, Verstappen managed to recover after returning to the pits. Although he dropped to fourth place, he continued racing with determination, trying to regain lost ground. However, his race took another turn for the worse when he was penalized twice in quick succession. The first penalty came when Verstappen entered the pit lane in an unsafe manner, resulting in a 40-second time penalty. Strangely, he repeated the same mistake shortly after and was handed a second 40-second penalty. His frustration boiled over, and it was clear from his reactions that he was deeply upset. Sitting in his simulator, Verstappen could be seen shouting and swearing at the screen in disbelief. The penalties, combined with his earlier crash, all but sealed his team's fate, as they were unable to make up the lost time to the leaders. His drive was a mixture of moments of brilliance and frustration, as he couldn't seem to escape the series of mistakes and penalties that hampered his performance. Despite his best efforts, the errors ultimately cost Team Redline the victory they had been fighting for. The race was a reminder of the mental and emotional toll that can come with racing, even in a virtual setting, as Verstappen's experience showed how quickly things can unravel.